Hi, everybody. We all know that our children must be prepared to, you know, think how they are supposed to think and not what they're supposed to think. For example, 10th क्लास में आके हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि बच्चे अपने स्ट्रीम सिलेक्शन डिसाइड करें और फिर करियर पूरा डिसाइड करें. But are we really preparing them for such life changes, for such adversities or such uncertainties of life? सर्टेनिटी के लिए हम डेफिनेटली प्रिपेयर करते हैं, बट द क्वेश्चन लाइज, क्या हम उनको अनसर्टेनिटी के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं या नहीं? वी विल बी एड्रेसिंग ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस टुडे. हाय, आई एम कीर्ति and I welcome all of you to my See Within series. And today we have a very beautiful guest with us, my dear friend Navina. She is a child counselor, and what sets her apart from others is that she brings in a lot of her own personal experiences and practical learnings from being a mother herself. Welcome, Navina. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. How about you?
Good. I'm really excited for today's session and learning
Same.
a lot of things from you. तो नवीना जी, कई बार हमारे मन में ये क्वेश्चंस आते हैं कि क्या अर्ली इंटरवेंशन लाइफ स्किल्स की हो सकती है? इज इट इवन पॉसिबल? एंड टुडे we will be discussing regarding life skills for children from 0 to 6 years of age, and we will look into a lot of prevalent issues which parents, teachers and children have today, given the fact that we are in a lockdown situation. And while we continue the session, we will be keeping in mind the psycho, neuro, social and cognitive developmental life stages of a child. So Navina ji, first question is, what exactly are life skills?
Okay. The word itself is self-explanatory. Life skills, in simple words, it means skills which are required for your day-to-day life. Skills which makes your tasks easy, makes your day-to-day activities simple. Skills which makes you stand out from the rest of the people around you. Okay. These days, this is a fact that we all know that academic marks are counted, but more than that, your personality, your skills, your soft skills, your technical skills are given more importance. More than technical skills, definitely your soft skills. So life skills is also otherwise called as soft skills. So
Right.
that's the importance of life skills. To name few life skills, they are being empathetic, good communication skills, interpersonal skills. Then you have your problem solving, decision making. Those are few skills which are in demand at this point of time. Are you a good listener or not? Yeah, these are few skills which are in demand now and which makes you stand out from the rest of the world.
That's beautifully explained. And I think all these life skills actually help us in life. And its importance बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा है. And the question remains that, can it be inculcated in children? Can early intervention happen? First question is that. And if I ask you, how do you think can these life skills be taught to our children? If you can just quote some examples from your personal experience also, that will be really helpful.
Yes, definitely life skills can be taught as early as a child is 1 year old. Okay, and it is said that early childhood years, 0 to 6 or 1 to 6 years of age, is the time where the most of maximum brain development happens. Okay, so we do teach them mathematics, we teach them other subjects, we teach them about nature, we teach them about stars, moon, sun, a lot of things. Okay, but why not talk about life skills? Why not teach them skills which are required throughout their life? Okay, so something which you start sowing now and it becomes stronger, the roots of it becomes very stronger when you start it early. Okay, so yes, I have experimented. Yes, I've experimented with my son's few skills, and I see him grasping, I see him learning. Yes, it is at times it questions my theoretical knowledge, Yes. So it is nice. It is nice to see what we learn theoretically, whether it's applied, can we apply that practically or not. Okay.
Right.
To give an example from my life with my son, my experience with my son, uh, he is fussy about brushing teeth, and he is clear that I don't want to brush teeth, and he says no. He has learned this new word and he says no. मुझे नहीं करना है. He says no.
Right.
It is difficult. I cannot stop him. I cannot accept his no, because it is, I have to maintain his dental hygiene. But I allow him to express, and I understand. Sometimes I like I have to take care of his dental hygiene, but I also have to accept his no. So what I try to do is I bring in rhymes, I bring in fun, I bring in toys, I bring in teddy bear, and then tell him, okay, let's brush Teddy's teeth. And do you see germs on his teeth? Yes. So can we brush his teeth now? Okay, now I take him to the mirror and then I show his teeth. Okay, so see your teeth. Do you see any germs? No. Yes. And then we discuss, we have a conversation, we sing along, and eventually he has learned it that he has to brush his teeth. Okay, now it has become a routine. So through this small activity of brushing teeth, I have brought in this concept of routine. So as soon as he wakes up, after greeting his father and me, I take him to the washroom and he knows, okay, I have to brush my teeth now. And before going to bed, he needs to brush his teeth. So see,
Really
you can bring
interesting. I mean, I'll just ask
bring in routine
here.
It is very important for any child. So bringing in concept of routine, being organized, being structured, knowing what is going to happen next, knowing what I'm going to do throughout the day, for you as a parent as well as for the child, becomes very important. Okay, because you are not very anxious what you're going to do next. You know the flow. Okay, आज मैं ये करने वाली हूँ, आज मैं ये बनाने वाली हूँ, and I'm going to play this activity with my child, and I'm going to engage my child in this way. So you can bring in structure.
Right.
So I'm trying to bring in structure in my child's life, yes, as well as in my life, so that I am not very anxious and he feels very secure, and even he is not he's not frustrated, he's not throwing tantrums. That's one example where I try to bring in routine, where I'm acknowledging his emotions, his expression. When he says no to certain things, I acknowledge it, I accept it where I have to, and I negotiate with him when I don't have to. When the example of brushing teeth, I negotiate with him, I brush along with him. So I demonstrate that I'm not just telling you, even I'm doing it. So let's do it along. It did take time for him to accept, for him to learn, but yes, it's a process. It takes time and you need to have a lot of patience.
Right.
Yes.
So what
while I was
one, you have a structure. Second, routine is very important so as to bring down the anxiety. Third is doing it along with the child. And I really find it very interesting the way you have converted this into a play, game actually. So the routines which are supposedly boring for a child, you can definitely play along so that you have fun element. So that's a very interesting element, I think, and parents will take away a lot of things from there.
Yes. To give few more examples, what you can also do along with your child. See, we all are aware of the fact that through play, you can teach a lot of things. Yes, playing along strengthens the learning process very much, and it strengthens your bond with your child. Okay, so you allow the child to play, and there's another thing, you play along with the child. Yes, small things like hide and seek, you play along with the child, where the bonding of you and your child strengthens. Okay, if you want, what I've also done with my son is I wanted him to develop this listening skills. Okay, so while we are playing hide and seek, I don't count, but I clap. When I'm hiding, I clap, and he has to listen to the clap sound and come and search me. And every day or every time we play hide and seek, there's a different sound. So his listening skills strengthens, and his excitement every time there's a new sound. So there's excitement. The game does not become boring. So this particular activity, in fact, I also suggest to parents who have kids who are hyper or who are very high on energy. It's nice to use this kind of activities because kids who are high on energy, they would like to move around and run around. So when you're playing hide and seek, try to modify the whole hide and seeker game, and try to bring in new element, creativity, be creative, come up with different sound, or hide and seek can be converted into treasure hunt. Okay, you ask them to go search for something which is hidden, and you go ask them to search for it. Meanwhile, you're engaging in your task also, whatever work you are doing, and you hide something and ask the child to go search for it.
Right.
Yes. So in that way, you're engaging the child, okay, and you are strengthening child's listening abilities, trying to help. You're also helping the child to solve problems. Treasure hunt is you're solving a problem.
Right.
They have to go hunt for something, and you give them cues in between. So you're making the whole game or activity more fun, where even you're excited about it, where even the child is excited about it. But definitely it requires effort. It requires some planning, which you have to give in any which ways if you have a child who is really young.
That's really interesting. And how old is your child, by the way?
He's 1.5 years old.
Oh, that's great. I think that's a wonderful learning experience. And talking about all these activities, I really enjoy, engaging kids with games and all these fun activities. But can they also be taught life skills through daily chores? For example, we give some options to the child कि आपके पास ये सब कपड़े हैं और आपको इनमें से ये कपड़े choose करने हैं, whatever you want to choose instead of us telling them what to wear. अगर हम, this is just one example, can we also inculcate same sort of questioning in every daily activities which we do? क्या उसके थ्रू भी हम लाइफ स्किल्स बच्चों को सिखा सकते हैं, apart from the games?
Yes, definitely. So while you're serving snacks for your child, okay, you have something which you've prepared for yourself, or you have something different for your child. So usually this happens at my place, that I have to prepare something which is less spicier for my son, and a different version, a spicy version for adults at home. So when he sees others eating this and he eating this, I give him option. I tell him, whatever you want to eat, you eat. And sometimes this snack is different than what we eat. So he's given a choice. But there's only 1 or 2 choice that is he's given. If you give more than 2-3 choices, then it becomes you're confusing the child, and then you have to also bear the consequence for it. If he chooses more than one, then you'll be like, acha. And even when it comes to clothing, okay, give appropriate choices. If you're asking the child to pick clothes from a winter wear and a summer wear, which is a wrong choice. You know that now it's winter, and it's better to give choices of 2 clothes which are appropriate for the winter wear.
Right.
Appropriate for the weather. So giving right choice becomes very important. Okay. And then you ask the child to decide. So you're on the safe level, and even the child is whatever he chooses is going to be right. It's going to be like that.
Right. And I think clothes selection वाला part जो है, this is targeting listening skills, decision making, problem solving, a little bit of empathy also. तो I think काफी सारे life skills हम एक task से address कर सकते हैं.
Negotiation.
Yes. Refusal
negotiating
also, I think. Refusal skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even empathy. Let's take example of empathy. How can you inculcate empathy in your child? It can be as simple as, if you're watering a plant, take your child along with you. If you are taking your child along for a walk, and you see a dog, and you have this habit of feeding dogs, street dogs, you just ask your child to do that.
Right.
Yes, if it's safe, you play safe. But if you're doing it, he's observing you, and he will definitely pick that from you. They learn a lot through observation. Yes, so they're going to learn that from you. How you interact with your family members, they're observing you. Yes, if you want to teach manners in your child, bring in manners, don't force them. You demonstrate, you practice of saying good morning, yeah, however you wish, whatever is the greeting of your house, you do it first. If you have this daily routine in my home, there's a daily routine that before going to bed, my son has to go, wish everybody, greet everybody, and give them a hug and come back. And he knows, after changing, after getting fresh, after wearing on his nightwear, he goes and he wishes everybody, and he comes back and closes the door. He shuts the door. Okay, it's done. Now it's time to sleep. That's routine, night routine.
Beautiful routine. Yeah.
So he is learning how he can connect with elders, manners, again routine, that before going to bed I have to do this, and I don't force him. And when he feels no. So that choice is given to him. Even at times he says, I don't want to hug, I don't feel like hugging.
Right.
So none of our family members force him. Like, okay, just greet and then done.
Right. So I think that is a very important point. We have to also respect how a child is reacting. For example, zaruri nahi hai har baar wo aapke haan mein haan milaye. If the child is saying no, we have to respect so that he or she gets heard. वो उसको self confidence, self esteem भी increase करेगा. And there are times when the child is actually not comfortable with a particular adult or anybody for that matter. Here the sensitivity should be high so that we understand how the child is feeling, and we should not force upon any interaction with somebody he's not comfortable with. That's a very important point. I just wanted to highlight that. Yeah.
So, see, we did talk about few examples, few activities. What I would also like to emphasize upon is be a role model to your child.
Right.
Because the first step towards learning is observation. So they are observing you. They learn through observation. And if they find it exciting, they want to try it out. If they try it out, they repeat it. If they like it, they're going to repeat it. After they repeat it, they strengthen that particular skill or that habit, and then they start performing it without your guidance. They master into it. To give a small example, my son's name is Z. Okay, he came across this rhyme of roly poly. Okay, and wheels of the bus go round round. So for roly poly, the action is same. For wheels of the bus, the action is same. So he found that exciting when we started doing it. Now everything which goes around, he starts doing this. Anything and everything that goes around, his action is this. So he has mastered the skill of round.
Right.
Yeah. So it is very exciting to see him mastering that skill of that action, so to say. He knows what goes around. If something goes around, this is the action, and this is how it goes around. Yes, small things like that. Be observant. At times, they have learned one skill and they will start applying it in different ways, in different places. You need not teach it every time. That is the beauty of learning through observation. Or once they have practiced it, they would like to apply that in different ways, in different places, through different activities. Yes. So observation, they are observing you, and you also have to observe them to know, are they learning, are they developing? And when you observe them, you'll be very thrilled. You'll feel, wow, I didn't teach this, and he's he's just learning it on his own. Recently I saw my son, first he was just using his fingers to pick from one container and put it in another container. Now, yesterday I saw him just emptying the complete container into another container. He's not picking, grain by grain. He's just emptying it. Ulta kar dena and khali ho gaya hai.
Right.
He has learned कि एक एक करके उठाने की जरूरत नहीं है. मैं इसको उल्टा कर दूंगा तो अंदर चला जाएगा.
Right.
The experimentation is happening, trial and error. Yes, they have their own way of learning, picking up things. They're observing you. So I'm not saying always be on your toe, be observant, be mindful about your behavior, but whatever you want them to learn, demonstrate that, and they will just learn it. That's the beauty of early years, that they're observing you constantly because you're the only one who they're seeing. And at this age, influence is very less. Social media का influence नहीं होता है, peer pressure नहीं होता है. It's only you around. So you're their world. So they're going to learn a lot from you. So just be the right role model for them. Right? You define what is right.
Bilkul, absolutely. And I think the children are like sponges, so they will absorb all these things. And this is the right foundation years of somebody's entire life, I would say. So this age group is definitely important, and very rightly pointed out by you that role modeling is super important. But at the same time, we have been seeing a lot of queries from parents and teachers because of this current situation of lockdown and whatever, suddenly our life has changed. There is a lot of tension, I would say, amongst adults also. And काफी बार ऐसा होता है कि adults ही सही से role model नहीं बन पाते because of work from home culture आ रहा है, work life balance नहीं हो रहा. There are so many different challenges which adults are facing, and I think you would agree with me that our heart goes out to all the wonderful parents and teachers out there who are doing a lot of things already. And please do not stress out too much. This is for all the wonderful grown-ups there. बहुत ज़्यादा stress मत कीजिए. This is a temporary phase. निकल जाएगा. Just stay put. And if you have any questions, or if you would want some sort of a counseling service from either of us, please feel free to reach out. Our contact information will be provided in the description. And like Naveena ji has very beautifully covered all the essentials of life skills and how it can be embedded in our daily routines. It's beautiful. I think we have to prepare our children for the entire landscape of life, Just prepare them and let them go. Let them decide their own roads and destinations. So with this, we will wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much, Naveena, for being such a great sport. And I really appreciate the way you are bringing up your beautiful baby and how you are inculcating your theory and practical exposure. And you've shared a lot of wonderful ideas with us. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me.